She wakes before the call to prayer, because her heart has forgotten how to sleep. She folds the same blanket that once covered you when you were a child. Her hands tremble a little now, but they still remember every inch of you. She moves through the house slowly, quietly, like someone walking through old memories. She lights the small lamp by the window, the same one that used to guide you home after dark. The dust dances in its glow like the ghosts of laughter that once lived here. The house breathes with her. The walls still echo the sound of your childhood. The floor still knows the weight of your feet. She pours tea into 2 cups, because habit is stronger than logic. 1 cup stays untouched, yet she never forgets to fill it. She whispers your name under her breath, sometimes as a prayer, sometimes as a plea. She asks Allah to guard you, to soften your heart, to remind you that paradise lies beneath her feet. She does not curse you. She does not accuse you. She forgives you 100 times a day, without you ever asking for it. Her forgiveness is not weakness. It is love that refuses to die. She sits by the window where you once waved goodbye. Her eyes stare at the road where your shadow disappeared. She waits for the sound of your footsteps, the knock on the door, the voice that says Assalamu alaikum. But only the wind answers, and even it sounds tired. Her world has grown small. Her life is a circle that begins and ends with waiting. Your father still pretends to read the newspaper every evening. He holds it open but never turns a page. His eyes glance at the gates more than the words. He sighs sometimes and says nothing, because men like him do not cry. They just grow quieter. He goes to the mosque every day. He prays with the same lips that once taught you to say Bismillah. He lowers his head when the Imam says, "O Allah, have mercy on our parents," because he knows mercy flows both ways. Your parents gave you theirs, now they wait for yours. You tell yourself you will visit soon. You tell yourself life is busy. But busyness is a chain made of excuses. Every day you say tomorrow, and tomorrow becomes another year. You chase the world, thinking it will bring you peace. But peace was in her voice when she called your name. Peace was in his silence when he fixed your broken toys. You earn money to buy comfort while they sit on floors that remember sacrifice. They never wanted gold. They wanted time. They wanted you. They wanted a knock on the door, a smile across the table, a moment of togetherness before their hands grew too weak to hold yours. She remembers the nights you were sick, how she stayed awake whispering verses into the dark, her hands on your forehead, her heart begging Allah to trade her pain for yours. She would break herself again and again if it meant your safety. Now she whispers the same prayers, but for your soul, not your body, because she fears you are alive, but lost. She walks past your old room sometimes, touches the wall, feels the paint peeling under her fingers, and wonders if memory ages too. She opens your wardrobe, still filled with the smell of your youth. She does not cry. She simply breathes slower, as if trying to inhale the past. Your father sits outside at dawn, his tasbih turning between his fingers. He prays for your rizq, your health, your forgiveness. He asks that Allah keep you kind. He never asks for himself, because he has already given everything to you. You forgot the sound of his voice calling you for prayer. You forgot the warmth of her hand holding yours. You forgot that love without remembrance becomes a wound. You live among strangers who praise your success, but you have forgotten the ones who built it. Your phone fills with messages from everyone but her. You scroll through faces that do not know your story, while the ones who wrote it sit waiting in silence. Their bones heavy, their hearts heavier. The angels record their patience, and you rush through life, unaware that the greatest dua ever made for you still rises from that small house in the quiet hour before dawn. She wipes her tears before anyone can see them. She smiles when people ask about you. She says, Alhamdulillah, He is fine, because even when forgotten, a mother protects her child. Even when neglected, a father defends his name. You think time heals, but time only hides what guilt remembers. She still lights that lamp every night. She still whispers, "May Allah bring him home." She still waits, not for apology, but for presence, because forgiveness has already been given. All that remains is your return.
She sits beside your father as the evening fades. The air smells of rain and old memories. She tells him how the birds no longer come to the roof like they used to, how the street outside feels emptier. He nods without looking up because he has learned that silence hurts less than speech. Their conversation drifts between pauses and sighs, like two souls trying to remember what joy felt like. She asks him, "Do you think he will call tonight?" And he says, maybe tomorrow, maybe next week, maybe never. His voice soft, his eyes far away. They both know the truth, but they choose hope, because hope is the only warmth left in this house. She walks to the kitchen and makes tea for two. The sound of boiling water echoes like prayer. She carries the cups carefully to the table, the same table where you once spilled milk and laughed. She looks at the empty chair and places the cup there anyway. Her heart refuses to accept what her mind knows. She sits down and talks to that chair about her day. She says, "Your father's knees hurt again." She says, "The neighbor's son brought sweets." She says, "The world is moving fast and we are moving nowhere." The chair listens better than most people. She smiles faintly between her words because pretending that you can hear her keeps her alive. Your father finishes his tea quietly, his hands trembling a little. He folds the newspaper again and again until it tears. He stares at the tear for a long time because he understands that some things cannot be fixed. He stands and walks to the prayer mat, his steps slow, his shoulders heavy. He whispers your name between tasbih beads. His lips form duas that the angels record in silence. He asks Allah to guide you, to forgive you, to remind you that kindness to parents is not a choice. It is a command. His voice breaks, but he keeps praying because faith is stronger than pain. She watches him from the doorway, her eyes glistening. She knows his pride keeps him from crying, so she cries for both of them. Later that night, she sits on your bed. She runs her fingers over the blanket, remembers how you would hide beneath it when you did something wrong. She whispers, "Do you remember when you broke the vase and blamed the cat and we laughed for hours?" She laughs too, softly, but it fades quickly because laughter without you feels like betrayal. She looks at the clock, it shows midnight, but time lost meaning long ago. She opens the window, the wind touches her face like an old friend. She closes her eyes and whispers your name again. Somewhere in another city, you laugh with friends, you scroll through screens, you drink coffee in warm lights. You tell yourself you will visit soon, but soon has turned into years. You convince yourself they are fine because it is easier to believe comfort than to face guilt. You think about them sometimes, when nights are too quiet, when success feels hollow, when applause fades into emptiness. You remember her voice saying, "Pray before you sleep." You remember his hand on your shoulder saying, "Be humble." You feel something twist inside your chest, but you silence it because tomorrow you have meetings and plans and life to chase. You do not realize that life is running out faster than you think. You cannot buy back the prayers you ignored. You cannot replace the blessings you forgot. She sits alone in her room, counting the nights since you left. She whispers verses under her breath, her lips dry, her eyes wet. She prays for your ease. She prays that Allah will forgive you, even if you forget her. She says, Ya Allah, my child has forgotten, but you never forget. She feels peace in that whisper because she knows her Lord hears even when the world does not. Your father sits outside under the same sky. He looks at the stars and wonders if you see the same ones. He remembers carrying you on his shoulders when you were too small to walk. He remembers you falling asleep on his lap after Maghrib prayer. He remembers how proud he felt calling you his child. And now, he remembers all this alone. He still keeps your old drawings in a drawer. The paper yellow, the colors faded, but he says this is art because love never loses color in the heart. The azan echoes across the street and they both rise slowly to pray. They pray in different rooms but with one voice. O Allah, protect our child. O Allah, soften his heart. O Allah, bring him home. They end their prayer with tears that no one sees. They sit together again, not speaking, not eating, just breathing the same air, heavy with waiting, their hearts whispering, maybe tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow as the lamp flickers and the house surrenders to silence once more.
Your father wakes before the sun. His bones ache, but he thanks Allah for another morning. He walks slowly to the small garden behind the house. The plants bend in the cold breeze. He touches each leaf as if greeting old friends. He still waters the tree you planted when you were 10, the one that never grew tall. It leans to the side now, like him, tired but standing. He smiles faintly and says, "This one remembers me." He whispers Bismillah and keeps working, though the ground no longer needs him. His hands shake, but his faith does not. Your mother watches him through the window. She remembers how he used to lift you in his arms, how strong he was, how proud he looked when you took your first step. And now his steps are smaller, his breath shorter, yet he never complains. When people ask about you, he smiles and says, "He is doing well, mashallah. He is busy. May Allah bless him." He hides the pain behind those words because fathers bleed quietly. He walks back inside the house. His eyes wander to your picture on the wall. He straightens it every day, though it never tilts. It is his way of touching you without breaking. She tells him to eat, but he says later. He sits in the same chair every evening, his hands on his tasbih, his lips moving softly, your name between the beads. She knows what he is asking for. She does not interrupt. She only whispers, Ameen. She spends her days in chores that never end because work keeps sorrow silent. She cleans your room though no one uses it. She folds the blanket, lays out the pillow, dusts the table, arranges your books by size. She does not realize she is arranging memories. Each action is a small prayer, a way to feel close to you. She finds an old letter you wrote, a scribbled page full of dreams you once had. She reads it again and again until the ink seems to blur. She smiles at your handwriting, her eyes glisten. She whispers, Ya Allah, keep my child's dreams safe, even if I am not there to see them. She places the letter under her prayer mat and says, This belongs to you now. She cooks your favorite meal sometimes, adds extra spice, just how you liked it. She eats a few bites, then stops because eating alone tastes like regret.
She keeps the rest for your father, but he eats little too. The food gets cold, but neither of them complains. The silence between them speaks more than words. He asks her, "Do you think he prays?" She says, "I hope so." And that hope is enough to keep her alive. You, meanwhile, are sitting in your apartment miles away, a city full of sound and faces you hardly know. You scroll through pictures of strangers chasing something you cannot name. You laugh at jokes that fade as soon as the screen locks. Your heart feels heavy, but you tell yourself it is stress. You see an old couple on the street holding hands, and something inside you stirs for a moment. You remember your parents. You remember your mother's wrinkled hands, your father's quiet strength. You imagine calling them, but your pride stops you. Your mind says later, but your soul whispers now. You silence that voice again because guilt is easier to ignore than to heal. You go to sleep with noise in your head. They go to sleep with prayers on their lips. The distance between you was not counted in miles, but in moments lost forever. She still sits after Aisha, her hands raised, her voice trembling. She says, "O Allah, forgive my child. O Allah, return him to the path of love. O Allah, make him remember." She does not ask for herself. She asks for your peace because a mother's dua always carries your name first. Your father prays too, his forehead pressed to the mat, his heart heavy. He whispers, "Ya Allah, accept her patience. Ya Allah, forgive me if I failed as a father." He stays in sujood longer than before, not because he is strong, but because he has nowhere else to go. After prayer, they sit together. She tells him the milkman raised the price. He nods. She says the roof leaks again. He nods. She says maybe our child will call this week, and he nods again. Their words simple, their meaning deep. The house has become a place of waiting. Every object holds a memory. Every corner breathes you. Even the clock seems slower, as if respecting their silence. The lamp flickers sometimes, and she says, "Maybe that means he's thinking of us. Maybe the angels carried our name to his heart." They cling to small signs because faith teaches them that nothing is impossible. They do not know that you also wake up some nights haunted by a dream of her voice calling your name. A dream so real that you whisper, "Yes, Mom, I'm here," before realizing you are not. She keeps dreaming of you too, but her dream is a prayer and yours is a wound. One heals, the other hurts, and both keep repeating like the rising of the sun and the setting of hope. She opens the window again, watches the stars, whispers one more time, "Come home, my child." And the night carries her voice into a world too busy to listen. You wake up in the middle of the night, your breath short, your chest tight, your heart restless. A dream lingers in your mind, her voice calling your name, not softly this time, but with the ache of years. You sit up in darkness, surrounded by the quiet hum of a world that never truly sleeps. And for the first time, the silence feels heavier than noise. You look around at the walls, the screens, the trophies, everything you built, and none of it looks alive. You cover your face with your hands, and the weight of all that you forgot presses down on you until your heart cracks. You whisper, "Forgive me," but no one answers except your own heartbeat. You pick up your phone, your fingers trembling. You scroll to her number. You stare at it as if it might disappear. You press call. Once, twice, again no answer. Your throat tightens. You try one more time, and this time the call connects. Her voice arrives, soft and distant, like a memory wrapped in air. She says, "Hello, my child. Is that you?" And you cannot speak. She says, "Are you all right?" And something inside you breaks. You say, "I am sorry." The words spill out like rain. She pauses, and then her voice trembles. "You sound tired, my love. Come home when you can." And before you can reply, the line goes silent. You sit there for a long time, holding the phone like a lifeline. You rise before the sun, your hand shaking. You pack a small bag. Your car keys feel strange in your palm. The road ahead feels longer than ever, but you keep driving, mile after mile, until the lights of the city fade and the sky opens wide. You see the old trees, the same ones that used to guard your street. You slow down, your heart pounding. You stop in front of the gate. Its paint's faded, its hinges rusted. You pushing open. The sound echoes through the air like a whisper of time passing. You step inside, and the house smells the same, a mix of old wood and warmth. You walk toward the door, and it opens before you can knock. He stands there, your father, older, smaller, his eyes still holding that quiet strength. He looks at you for a long moment, says nothing, just steps aside. You walk in and see her sitting near the window, her hands resting on her lap, her head tilted toward the light. She turns and sees you. Her lips part, but no words come. You kneel in front of her. You take her hands. They feel fragile, yet steady. You whisper, "I am sorry." She looks at you, the kind of look that reaches past mistakes, past time. She says, "You came. That is enough." You rest your head on her knees, and the years between you disappear. He stands behind her, his shoulders shaking though he tries to hide it. He places his hand on your shoulder, and in that touch, there's everything you ever needed to hear. Forgiveness, love, and the peace of being home again. You all sit together, the air thick with emotions that do not need sound. The house feels alive again. The walls breathe, the clock ticks gently, as if careful not to disturb this fragile peace. She brings you food, simple and warm. You eat slowly, tasting memories you did not know could return. He sits across the table, watching silently, the corners of his lips lift for the first time in years. You do not speak much. Words would only lessen what this moment already says. Later that night, you sit outside with him, the stars scattered above, like pieces of all the nights you missed. He points to one, says, "Remember when I used to show you that?" And you nod and say, "I remember now." And he smiles, a smile that holds pride and relief. You go inside. She is resting, but her hand still moves gently across the blanket, as if checking if you are there. You sit beside her, watching her breathe, the world outside quiet. You realize peace was never far away. It was always here, waiting for you, in their patience, in their silence, in the love that never stopped. You close your eyes for a moment and promise yourself you will never let time steal this again. You will stay, you will listen, you will remember. The house hums softly. The wind outside whispers through the old window. The chair rocks faintly back and forth. And for the first time in years, the sound is not of loneliness. It is of home.